Hello, trading is closed on March 20th, 2023. We always do our disclaimer, go over our calls and make some predictions. It's my trading plan for Tuesday, March 21st, 2023. Remember, I can be wrong, trade at your own risk. Today we look for the pattern with the early low. Tomorrow should have the early high. We had mixed signals. We said commonest thing was a gap and prompt move outside the day's range. That didn't happen. Next is the close little change. That didn't happen either. Once in a while, neither one of those things happen, and that's the way it goes. We said that we dropped and couldn't take out these lows unless we undercut these lows promptly. We should see higher prices even if we didn't close higher. But we certainly saw higher prices. But we also said that this drop on a normally positive day almost always leads to further declines. And as far as regular trading hours, that didn't happen. In futures, of course, we had a complete collapse down to, I think it was 38.97 in futures, which is well above what it would translate to in cash. So if you count futures, we did trade lower. I don't know if you should really count it or not. I usually don't. But my plan was, if we traded lower, to cover any short positions, because I thought that sometime this week we were going to hit a low. And I said if we traded up instead, I didn't really have a plan. So you could make the case that after dropping like that overnight, you should have at least thought about closing out any short positions, because that's what I was planning to do. Well, during the day, MEJT said this little blip up wouldn't stick, that we'd fall back. Said this big drop wouldn't stick, we'd recover, and all that's happened. Well, somehow we have to complete this big ABC. I'm not totally convinced this is B. It really could be A of B. But we're having this move down here, and I can't count it as a completed ABC, and at some point this B has to end. Now right now we gapped up, hit higher high, but closed under all these highs. And if that's maintained at the open, if that's maintained, it's a negative pattern, and we should see lower prices. Doesn't guarantee you close lower, but it means the last few hours of the day didn't accomplish anything. Of course, time doesn't run out until early tomorrow. We open up here tomorrow, all that negativity goes away. But if we hold on to this, that's an if, you should see lower prices. I don't have any count that totally convinces me. Everyone I come up with looks a bit forced, but if that's A, and that's an ABC for B, C equals A right at the high. So if that holds, you can explain the top right here based on the wave count. Of course, you don't know until early tomorrow if this holds or not. And again, if we open up here, all that argument goes away. That's something we don't know. We just know this is a reasonable candidate for a high. And if it holds, maybe we'll get that wave C down that I've been waiting for. Tuesday's pattern has a early high. We could still gap down. Typically, it's a bullish day with a high in the final hour. But if you fail, it's a straight line drop. We gapped up, hit a higher high, we closed under intraday highs. We should either gap and promptly overtake today's high, or else trade lower. It doesn't mean we have to close lower, though. There's a wave count compatible with today being a top, but it's not totally convincing to me, and if we continue higher, it could be pretty uncomfortable for shorts to sit through. So I can make a case for this high holding, and if it holds, we could have a good wave down. You just have to remember, if it fails in grand style. And we won't know that until early tomorrow, till we see what the early action is like. So tomorrow has the early high. Most of the time it's a bullish day, so we could certainly take this out. But if we don't, it could be a straight line drop. You don't have to risk any money till we see which it is, because it should have legs one way or the other. And that's today's call.